Hey, what is going on, everybody? Thank you and welcome back to another episode of Fish Meat for Dinner. Now, today I'm going to teach you something that's going to be very important. I really wasn't in the bass fishing scene too long here now, but this is something that really helped me out beginning out. So, first is this is like the rig I use all the time, and it's a great universal rig. I usually run it on this 13 Fishing Creed K. It's the rod and reel combo. You can pick this up at your local outdoor store for around $80 to $100. It's very good. Has sort of fast action, but has enough backbone to really boat flip and do whatever else you would want to do bass fishing. The reel is amazing. It's got very good drag on it and a lot of line capacity, which is good if you retie a lot. So let's get to the important part, and that's the rig. So the rig necessarily is comprised of a hook and a weight. You leave roughly around 5 to 6 inches in between the hook and the weight. I'm not sure what kind of weight this is, but you're going to want a lighter weight so that you can feel the bites better. So here's the hooks you'll be using. They're pretty small. This is what it's compared to my finger. And this one's more if you're pulling bigger baits, sort of like these tubes. You can use tubes, creature baits, Senkos. These are kind of just like drop shot type worm thing. Another crawfish type things. Big old worms, you can wacky rig them, or you can kind of like nose hook them so that they kind of drift behind it. And then you can also do like trick worms. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. But you're gonna want a hook like this, and then you can choose between weights if you want like a stick one or one of these kind of circular ones. But the rig is gonna be like this. There's gonna be a little bit of a gap in between them, so then you can bounce this off bottom, and it's a lot more effective than dragging something on the bottom and getting snagged all the time as well. You want to grab your hook. You want to feed it in there and leave yourself some room. You want to tie a knot and then another knot. Nothing fancy. So you have your hook now secured on there, and it can freely move like that. Now you have about probably 7 inches to 8 inches of line left. I'm gonna go ahead and grab your weight, slide that on there to what you think is a good length away from the hook. So right about there is good. About 5 to 6 inches is usually the money spot. And then you can just tie 2 more knots onto there. You don't really want it to be super strong, because if you get snagged, it's going to be a pain in the butt. And sometimes you want to tie your weight not as strong as your hook, because sometimes the weight actually gets stuck more than the hook does. So that way you don't lose a hook and a weight, you just lose the weight if it gets stuck. So you have that all tied off. Get rid of your excess, and you're relieved with that. You got your straight hook down to your weight, and you're ready to fish. Now the way you can rig these worms is you can rig them through the middle, like so. So that's kind of what it looks like, and you'll just kind of be whacking it like this, and it'll be fluttering in the water. Pretty effective method. And then if you have like a trick worm, you can nose hook it just a little bit. You push it up to the top. And that way you can fish it like this, and this will come back in the water and it'll kind of flutter around like that. That works pretty good, especially with like smallmouth. It really disturbs them and makes them really aggressive. Plus you get more of a kind of dangly action, but the hook set, since the hook is all the way up here, will not be as good. With the crawfish ones, I just kind of like to hook it kind of in the rear region and just kind of let it dangle. That way it's kind of just grazing along the bottom and it kind of can move freely in the water. With this rig you can do a lot of stuff. You can do regular drop shotting. If you want to do weightless, you just bite off the line or cut it off and you have weightless. You can do wacky style dinger worms, whatever you want really. And that's what makes it such a like versatile way of rigging it up and trying to catch fish. I've caught a majority of my fish this way, and I believe it's one of the best ways to fish. It's kind of hard to fish in weeds, very good around rock, and overall it's probably my favorite method of catching fish. You can put night crawlers on here, I've caught perch, sheephead, walleye, all on this rig, so you're definitely not limited with this rig. And there's just so many different ways and you can experiment, and I think you'll have a good time with this. So if you're starting to get into bass fishing, I would highly recommend you try this rig out. It's one of my favorites and it seems to be very effective for me. So I just like to share that with you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time.